In the next 2 years, we will have over 4 million mortgages renew in Canada. Out of 4 million, 1.2 million will renew in 2025. As far as I can see so far, opinions are divided. Half of people are saying we will not go through a recession and everything will be fine. And the other half are saying we will hit a wall, we're going through a recession, and it will be the fall. The bubble will finally burst. So we'll get into that. I have a case study, my own experience. So let's get right into it. All right, everybody. So the crowd is completely divided. Half of the population you speak to, they're saying everything is fine. There's nothing to worry about. We went through the worst. We went through the high interest rates. Now we're feathering down. Everything will be fine. And then the other half you speak to, they're going nuts. They're going crazy. They're fearing what is to come. They are claiming that we will hit a wall fast and the bubble will burst here in Canada. Now, as I mentioned, everything is divided, but now we get into these analysts that are claiming that the feathering down of these mortgage rates will not basically impact 4 million mortgage renewals. Or at least they're claiming it will not be that severe and that storm will basically drift away on its own. But many forget that even that spike of interest rates that we have for a period of time did so much damage. A lot of people went into debt. A lot of people went into line of credits, HELOCs, and all of that stuff. Because prior to that, as per statistics, people were writing mortgages between 1% to 2%. So the average would be 1.5%. Even though they're claiming that most of these mortgages were tested between 5 and 6%. Now, we can get into a rabbit hole and we can kind of decipher what is going on. But we all know that many went into the fear mode. Because remember, back in the day, you couldn't even get to a listing. So people were turning to a pre-construction. And we all know, you saw it all over social media. People are raising red flags. That segment of real estate is sinking fast. Why? Because people cannot afford it. People cannot close on these units. That foreclosure percentage is through the roof. So having said that, these units that are actually coming, the inventory that we have across the board, it is so hard to unload. There are thousands of these units all over GTA, and I can imagine throughout the entire Canada. But getting back to that, so what I believe that scar from that low to high and then going to lower again did an impact to the entire economy. So in this case study, I've spoke to a colleague of mine, and they have invested in a commercial property, which is, well, commercial, but a residential 12 unit. And they have been renting this out and it did well for them. That particular purchase was done way before that shake in our economy, in the industry. So fine, no problem with that. So as the times were going on, they benefited largely due to the fact that they bought the property as per claim at the right time, went up in value. On top of that, the rents went up in value during the COVID period and everything was fine. But hold on a second. There's a twist to the story. The writing of that particular mortgage at that particular time was very low, extremely low. So the rent could easily cover everything. Everything was fine. The equity was building by the minute and everything was sensational. Okay? All the cards were right on the table. But having said that, now the mortgage renewals are coming in. And that mortgage renewal, once is completed, will not be able, these rents will not be able to sustain that mortgage payment. Well, on top of that, because that fear of missing out kicked in for many at that particular time. So what happened now is the chain effect. In that period, while that complex was growing in equity, that money was withdrawn, it was sunk into another property, and then that other property is obviously under a mortgage as well, right? So now that's the chain effect. So you had one, did well, pull it out, buy another one, get another mortgage, keep it riding, very low, very stable, not a problem. But now everything is coming back. To what? It's coming back to the renewals. Now when the renewals are coming in, nothing can be covered. On top of that, that income, it's not the same as it used to be. So people are having a hard time making this money like they did during some periods of time or in the past years. It's not the same. The economy is not as vibrant. So now you can imagine someone that was very stable is going into trouble trying to patch these holes that it's maybe not even possible, right? So on top of that, I don't want to mention exotic vacations. I do not want to mention luxury brand watches. And I don't know if they're going in value or not. Like I see these ads like that some of them are back on the market and some of them are available. It's not my forte, but I understand that things are changing even in that sector. If you know something about that, please comment below. And then furthermore, now like you keep adding that line of credit, you keep adding that mortgage, and now it's time to renew. Guess what's gonna happen? Take a guess for a second. That particular person will have to cough probably 100,000% more than what they did. So case number 2. I just did a deal for a client, they're retiring and all of that stuff, downsizing. Perfect time, everything is working fine, sold a property, and they bought a property, obviously less money and whatnot. And it was interesting because, once they got that, final statement from the lawyer, how much they sold the house, what was going on, all the cost factors and all of that stuff. And they're calling me, they're like, something is wrong. I'm missing hundreds of thousands of dollars. I said, excuse me? Like, how is that even possible? How is it possible that it goes through so many hands and then at the balance, you're still missing hundreds of thousands of dollars? I mean, it's got to be a joke, right? Like I was assuming, like they're joking, like they want to throw a joke. They're elderly, fine. I don't know, right? So they're like, no, for real. So I called them up. I said, well, what's the problem? Like, I'll talk to the lawyer tomorrow, but just tell me quickly. So they went through the stuff, but they were missing so much information because they forgot. And this is what they forgot. So they forgot that they had a line of credit against the home. They forgot that they had a mortgage on the home. They forgot that they borrowed against that property so many times, right? They forgot that. They forgot that interest. They forgot the penalties that they had to pay. They forgot all of that stuff. So what I'm trying to throw across, when they finally sold that home, all of those mortgages against that property have to be paid back. So the point is, eventually, everything has to be paid back with interest. So this is what I don't understand, how half of the population is just writing it so casually and they're not worried because everything will fall into place perfectly, right? To some, yes. I see a lot of my colleagues, a lot of people on YouTube and other platforms stating now it's the right time. And it could be the right time. But if you have cash, if you have funds, if you're positioned properly, if you have all ducks in order to make the right decision, make the right purchase in the right time, and get the right deal. Yes, I agree. But it's only not today. It's all the time like that. Doesn't matter. High market, low market, any market. There are always people that are ready with funds, with cash, stable. They can pull a trigger and they can make things happen. So I hope you got something out of this video. Please comment below. What do you think? Are you from this half of the population that you're saying, hey, listen, nothing will happen, or you're from this half and you do believe that these 4 million renewals that we will have in the next 2 years to come will actually impact our Canadian economy? Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next one.